Shalom, city like giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemal Shai, Bishop Kakadash, and giving double honor to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who will peace and salutation to the first fruits, the election. Shemal Mappa is a Mappa from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, coming with another week lesson. You have it here: Maine police officer arrested by IC, okay, which is Immigration and Customs Enforcement, right? And we're going to go into this fair use warrant at NBC 10 Boston on only this for educational purposes only.
Local police department in Maine is being put on blast by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, accusing it of hiring an undocumented immigrant as a reserve officer.
ICE became aware of the Jamaican national after he allegedly tried to...
Oh, again, y'all, like he even said, he listened to this damn woman say it, a so-called West Indian, okay, from the island of Jamaica, okay, that island of springs and such, okay, and I've even said it, through the spirit. They gonna come for you, damn Benjamites, okay? You're talking about Wagwan, and you'll be... Why I'm not going to Yard, because they sending also people that countries they have no ties to. Okay, so we gonna play this for it again, man. Now I would like to give this to all Benjamites, man, because there's a lot of West Indians, from the island of Jamaica that we chatting about. They not scared or they not afraid. That's what me not afraid. Well, look what happened with this guy.
Undocumented immigrant as a reserve officer.
ICE became aware of the Jamaican national after he allegedly tried to illegally purchase a gun. Now the town is firing back. NBC 10 immigration reporter Oscar Margain joining us live from Old Orchard Beach.
And a lot of these Jake be up to no good. Okay, up to mischief. And the Lord is, he's tired. So, he ready to bring forth that judgment, okay? Because the mischief, man, Jake is mischievous out here, man. So this is the book of Proverbs chapter 24:1. It says, be not thou envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. So, these are admonishments, warnings, precepts, commandments. Okay, you have to watch out. Okay, for the evil men. All right, or as you have it in here. They got Anash by Anash. It says La'atha Quana, not you be envious by Nash against men. Anashia by Anashia. Rai, evil. Okay. Walla'ah, which that should be Walla'ah, but it says all. Tha'ah. Yawah. Alright. Which is desire. La Hayawa, La Hayawath, a thumb. Okay, being to them, with them. Don't be with them. Okay. For their heart studieth destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. You know, yeah, man. Let me get me a gun. Hey, I remember in Shadas, you know, with them Benjamites. You know, me need a tool. You know, and you got them a gun just to set up to do a robbery. You know, to rob the you know, the man that got the you know, he delivering, you know, beverages or something like that. You know, doing food distribution or something of that sort, and then, you know, Jake plotting them, little Jake plotting on them, you know, to get money to go to foreign, to come to Babylon. But yeah, a lot of people, a lot of these Jake, they came over here to do mischief in Babylon, and hey, look what your mischief come back right to you.
In Maine, Oscar?
Hey, JC, and ICE is saying that Old Orchard Beach police were the ones who basically knowingly broke the law in the hiring of this reserve officer who ICE says overstayed his visa. Now, the department said that...
Then you got it where, you know, you know, because there's this big thing with, you know, there's this big lot of big money, you know, for those that get recruited by, you know, icy. Okay.
They were only following the law, and that it was actually ICE's parent agency, Homeland Security, the ones who approved the work permit in the first place. It's not the type of headline...
And all that's being run up by, you know, federal executive powers, demands, and orders with, you know, Donald Trump, you know.
Margaret Jones expected to come out of her town of Old Orchard Beach.
To have this kind of incident come to my town is extremely upsetting and scary.
Luke,
So that's Esau, Edom saying that. They don't want that type of heat. These type of rude boys running about.
Evans, a reserve police officer from Jamaica, was detained by immigration agents on...
He from Jamaica. And now he trying to get in part of icy. Okay, and the tribes are divided. Like, hey, you have your own tribe arrest you.
Friday in the next town over. Evans was flanked by the ATF after allegedly trying to purchase a gun for his job, which the town says is not allowed by reserve officers. That's when ICE found out he had overstayed his visa in late 2023. The acting ICE director for Boston said...
That's a lot of these Jake come over here. You know, obviously visa grant them permission to stay over here. You know, it might be they came on here just on a tourist visa. You know, and then they, you know, they just stay over here and run off, as they call it. I'm pretty sure this is gonna hit one of them big Jamaican vloggers, so-called Jamaican vloggers.
In part, the fact that a police department would hire an illegal alien and unlawfully issue him a firearm while on duty would be comical if it weren't so tragic. The town's police chief pushed back, saying Evans was hired after he completed his I-9 work authorization, which was submitted to ICE's parent agency, Homeland Security. The work permit was approved by DHS on May 12th, she said, with an expiration date of March 2030. The chief went on...
Which these other... you know, these so-called, they call them, you know, migrants, whatever you want to call them, animals, you know, migrants, whatever you want to say. And America use these different persons for certain skilled jobs, okay? What's the first offer it to you Babylonians, you know? And then, you know, hey, these other... nations, they'll get the permission to work.
To say our department and our community relied on the Department of Homeland Security's E-Verify program to ensure we were meeting our obligations.
Oh, it's certainly out of proportion, out of line.
Resident and visitors we spoke with feel like the police department is being bullied.
It's gonna make it Old Orchard Beach look bad.
Old Orchard Beach, with a population of 9,000, often sees an influx of up to 75,000 tourists this time of year. Evans was sworn in June as a temporary seasonal hire. The PD usually makes these hires ahead of the busy summer season. The state of Maine is one of a dozen that allows non-citizen residents to work in law enforcement.
I don't know.
So there you go. Like Maine, hey, Maine got it where they allowing these non-citizens to work in these small little towns and such. 9,000. Hey, bring these people in. We got, man, a lot of these tourists coming here. Hey, we need you foreigners to work.
Understand why anyone would accuse them of doing anything untoward.
Now, I asked Homeland Security specifically about the claims made by the police department that they were the ones who dropped the ball here, but they would not answer those specific questions. Now, the police department says it is currently reviewing the officer's employment. We still don't know if Evans remains in ICE custody. Reporting live in Old Orchard Beach in Maine, Oscar Margain, NBC 10 Boston.
So you got like a lot of confusion just going on with that. That was just a bunch of confusion right there. Okay. So now you got a guy, hey, he working for the, of course, as a non-U.S. citizen, and he working for Maine police, and he got basically arrested by ICE.
ICE's parent agency, Homeland Security, the ones who approved the work permit in the first place.
And they ICE get him. Even though they approve, him to be here.
Work permit in the first place. It's not the type of headline, Margaret.
So, just a bunch of confusion. And that's Babylon. So, this is Isaiah chapter 19, just in the spirit. Isaiah chapter 19. And, hey, it started at verse 1. It says, the burden of Egypt, which is America, behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud. All right, that'd be a so-called UFO. And shall come into Egypt, or America. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it, the mind. Okay? And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptian, and they shall fight one against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Alright? Hey, and with American versus American, they got you, Jake. They'll try to naturalize y'all and then have you fight against yourselves, because now y'all, a lot of these Jake be considered American citizens after they do apply for the to become beyond just a green card holder and all that. They'll become American citizens. But these Americans of all sorts are gonna be going one against another. Okay? And like you said, you have somebody within the entity of the police, and then they just send icy, for them. Okay? To arrest them. Okay, and I mean, we gotta go over this thing. If he the guy applies for icy, and he's arrested.
Accusing it of hiring an undocumented immigrant as a reserve officer.
ICE became aware of the Jamaican national after he...
So,
allegedly tried to illegally purchase a gun. Now the town is firing back. And
So, red flags go up again.
Police department in Maine is being put on blast by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, accusing it of hiring an undocumented immigrant as a reserve officer.
ICE became aware of the
So, him being a officer, because of that entity allowing that, and then he getting a service issue gun he trying to purchase, that just throw red flags. But again, there's no it's no discrimination, but mainly they're gonna discriminate to you damn tribes. All right, as I say, it's gonna be no mercy on many of you tribes that's out there that the Lord is not covering you. Okay, there's only gonna be the elect remnant that the Lord's gonna be covering, making it well for. But y'all that have not served the Lord, have not repented, the Lord will be coming for y'all. Okay, and the confusion will be here. Okay, because you got you idiots, a lot of you fools, that you have trusted in the protection of Egypt. Okay, Isaiah chapter 30 and 1, it says, woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord Yahweh, that take a counsel but not of me, and that they may cover with a covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And if you are Jake and you taking belief in Esau, Edom, and his philosophies, you're taking a covering in idolatry, where the idols, like I said, the Lord's gonna visit these idols and destroy them. Okay, destroy those that follow after these idols. Okay, you seeing Jake being caught up in that. Okay, Jake could come here and start to be as an American. Okay, down to it where, hey, this guy was part of, back in his backyard. He was a police, or working with them, being a mighty man, law enforcement field. Now he coming to America trying to do it. But then the Lord, being, of course, a power that is of judgment, is now judging this dude. Okay? And who knows where he's at now. It says that they may go down into Egypt or America and have not asked at my mouth, the prophets. Okay? A lot of y'all, Jake, need to come to the prophets so that we can tell you, all right, that's not a smart move. Okay? Lay low to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. And a lot of y'all join a lot of these different, and entities within the government to receive their strength. Okay, you want to be walking about, and receive the strength, which is really this Hebrew word, which is Izaz, right? From Ma I was, which is the stronghold, place of safety, the human protection. You want that human protection under Esau, Edom. Not knowing that Esau sent his own to get rid of you because you're not his own, other than being a servant. But he don't want them type of servants. Okay? Okay? They're taking America back, as Trump has told you. Alright? And you trust in the shadow of the protection of Egypt. At Tazal. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Okay? Now you wondering where the hell you are in icy detention. You know, when you got a background and, you know, all this law enforcement, okay, and being a mighty man, okay, because a lot of y'all, Jake, have walked in great pride. Now these cities are being troubled, okay. So you got a kalama, all right, for confusion, which is the insult or reproach or disgrace, and that dishonor. So that shadow that you go and trust in the shadow of Egypt, that's now your shame. That's your reproach or kalama. Okay. So we just gonna see a lot of these Jake get hemmed up, man, and judged. And we gonna continue to laugh at you damn Jake, man, that are not desired, that need to come back to the Lord, because these days are evil. So that's gonna be pretty much the lesson to the spirit. Lord gonna destroy these wicked Jake, 2/3, and gonna deliver his remnant. But shalom to the elect. Till the next lesson, I'll do a follow-up, Lord will.